Well, hello there. It's Andy, your lonely libertarian citizen of California. And happy Thanksgiving Day to everyone out there who watches my videos. I hope you have a lot of turkey and fall asleep, because that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, I just wanted to, had a little time today. I came into my store to do a little paperwork and watch some YouTube videos. I'm watching something called Return of Nephilim, however it's pronounced, with Chuck Meisner. Absolutely brilliant speech. I really enjoyed it, and I'm got two more or three more of those videos to go. They're about 12, and they're all about 10 minutes long. Definitely worth a look. It's great viewing. So anyways, I wanted to talk to you today about a great way to save money. Now, many of us, can't buy a lot of gold and silver. And you're probably thinking, God, well, gold's running up, and how can I get in on the action? Well, I surmise to you that probably in about a year or so, you may see a hoarding of pennies and nickels. Now, a nickel is 75% copper and 25% nickel, or maybe it's the other way around. I'll have to check. I've forgotten. But a penny, at least the old ones, the kind like these. Now Lincoln cents with the memorial on them. You can probably see it right there. And they have to be older than 1982, meaning 1981 or older. The pennies that were minted then were 97% copper and 3% zinc. After 1981, they flipped it. It's now 3% copper, just to give it some color, and 97% zinc. Now, the price of copper when I last checked was about $2.95, maybe about $3 a pound. So a pound of pennies is 151 pennies. So just by holding on to your pennies, you've doubled your money almost. Now, copper rises. I suspect that you'll see a lot of people hoarding their pennies. I've been doing this for years, just because it's a hobby of mine. I collect wheat pennies. If anybody remembers what a wheat penny looks like, but see if I can find a good one. I always have to go through the change I get. I take all my pennies and put them in a jar, and then this is a wheat penny. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get it up there. It just says 1 cent on the back, and it's got 2 chafes of wheat on it. Now, those were made 1958 or 1959 or 1958, prior all the way back to 1909. And some of them are very hard to find and are worth a lot of money. But generally, the coin shops pay you a little bit more for wheat pennies. Sometimes they buy them by the pound, but they pay more per pound. Or they buy them by the hundred, and they give you, last time I checked, I think our coin shop was giving about 6 cents for just wheat pennies. So it's worth it to keep those set aside. You won't find too many, but you do come across them every so often, and hey, that adds to your savings. Now, what do I suggest you do with these coins? I do not suggest you trying to melt them. That is against the law. And I do not suggest you trying to take them out of the country. That is also against the law. More than $5 in pennies is not allowed to leave the country, and it's a 1 year in jail or $10,000 fine. But what I do suggest you do is hold on to them, because as things happen, laws will change. At some point, I think, and I hate to say it because I think the penny is a great way to save, because nobody likes the hassle of them, so we just throw them in a jar. But it's usually the last savings in the household is the penny jar. I can remember when my parents were, when we were all younger, raiding that penny jar sometimes got us through when you have 5 kids. But it usually is the last savings of the family, and it's also the only way that children learn how to save money is by hoarding mommy and daddy's pennies. Maybe you give them a handful of pennies here and there for doing good chores and whatever. But it's really something you should consider. Look at your penny jar. Do not take it to those coin counting machines. They'll charge you 8%, so you're losing 8% of your money. Separate them out when you're watching a football game or a baseball game, or just kind of listening to some radio on YouTube or whatever. spend a little time separating them out and keep them separate, because it's really not a lot of money you might have around. But let's say it's $30 in you know copper pennies. Well, it's actually worth $60. So it's good to keep that set aside. Now, you could use it for trading. If you can convince someone else that a copper penny is worth more because it's copper, and you show them that, you could say, "Hey, listen, I can't pay you your $45 for whatever it is you need done, maybe it's an oil change or something like that. But I can give you copper pennies, and they're worth $60 if you were to melt them down. But of course, you can't. But you can use them as trading value. So that's one thing I think everybody should do. It's free to collect them because you get them in your change, and well, you can always spin them if you wish, one way or the other. So that's my advice to you on Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. We are still free people if we are willing to claim it, and I suggest everyone do that. So anyways, I'll leave you with one little thing I found in my coin collection, and I think this is kind of neat. This is a 25 pence crown, and this is from 1977. I had a couple of these, and they're worth about £2 in Britain, which is about I guess $4 American, maybe $3.50 American. But they're still, they're commemoratives, but they're still useful. And I'll turn it over, and it has a picture of the Queen riding a horse. And I thought that was kind of neat. It's kind of a nice picture. She looks really young in it. But anyways, this is I guess it's the silver jubilee, or 1977. I'll have to check that. But it commemorates her anniversary there in 1977. 25 years. I'm not really sure though. Well, I'll let the video run out. I don't want to see this because usually it goes back about a minute or something. But I'm just going right through my my copper pennies. Look for any wheats that I might have missed. You never know.